line like Trader Joe's. I'll swallow kids if we start eating vegetables. You gon' sing this song like all day long.
Welcome to another episode of Trans Dance. We are here in New York City at the You Are Here studios with the Miss Lovely Davina.
Hey, how y'all doing?
I have just been continually inspired by your Instagram feed. Why don't you tell the lovely people at home how that started and what you do? And maybe we'll show them a clip if you want to show them.
We can definitely put a clip up. So my handle at Hyperbole the Queen. Ding! Right? So I was always actually anti-Instagram for a while. I was like, this is too much. Everyone's just like showing off their life and trying to be like, good vibes, good food. But then I kind of needed one to promote my art and what I do. And so I made one. On my page, Hyperbole Queen, I post a lot of little glimpses of my poetry. My book is actually about my transition. It's going to be separated into 3 parts. It's called Into the Divine by Davina. It will be out in August. Ding! So it's going to be poetry and images. So I do a lot of collage work and photography. My book's going to be separated into 3 parts. There's going to be pre-T, 2018, and post. So in the pre-part, I'm writing about, what it was like to get my heart broken by someone I thought I was going to be with forever, and like all my gender feels, and like you were saying, jealousy. Mm-hmm. That's a really huge motive in my book, is like chest envy, face envy, like me seeing other trans girls or like women and just being like, oh my God, why is that not happening to me? Why do I look like this? Why do I have this body? Blah, blah, blah. So that's a lot in pre, and then 2018 is about what's happening now and how good I feel, and like it's more gender. We hear a lot about gender dysphoria, right? And like being uncomfortable in your body, but what I'm feeling right now is gender euphoria, and that is just so powerful, and I could like cry talking about it. Yeah. But like, it's just so cool to like, when you become like what you see in your brain, or when you are in the middle of that, it's so powerful and it's so beautiful. And I wake up, I take my fucking moans at 5 a.m. when I wake up, and I just feel fucking awesome. So that's 2018, and post is gonna be more like fantasy, like what I think I'm going to be like and doing in 5-10 years. So it's going to be a lot of like weird sci-fi vague poetry / like, oh, when did this start happening? And people might be confused, but y'all getting it now. Right, yeah. It's fantasy at the end,
first look at the seeds, to all of it.
But it's going to be great. Yeah, I'm going to self-publish it, and you guys can reach out to me on like DM or email me about it.
I want to get more into this idea of gender euphoria. I felt very similar recently with my transition of being like, holy shit, I'm in the body that I wanted. Like, I am actually doing this. And that little thing that used to hold me back every day or make me feel a little bit down is now gone. So I'm just curious, like, what was your journey to get there?
Yeah, it was a lot of play. It was a lot of trial and error, and it was a lot of like really, really searching into myself, asking myself like, why can't you leave the house today? Why can't you wear this thing? Why do you feel like something is missing? And that whole time I was beating myself up over like like a breakup and stuff, and I was like, no, it's not about that. It's about like you. It always you come first. Right. You are always most important. So I was like, what am I doing that I'm not taking care of me? And I was like, well, I'm living in my gender, but only in my bedroom. And I was like, that's the problem, is that like you can't leave your bedroom and you're like playing with wigs, you're wearing all these things and doing all these things that make you happy, and you stare at your body in the mirror and you're like looking at your friends' chests and bone structures and studying them and doing all these things. And I'm like, that is because you want that happiness. And I was like, girl, you want that happiness, go get it. And I was afraid because also like my family is like super, super Christian, like very, 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 very like church mom. So yeah, I was literally afraid. And when I got back to New York and I was like, okay, I can do whatever the fuck I want, fuck y'all, you know? It was just a release. So I see gender euphoria as just a release and love, most importantly. And we just hear so much about the negative. No one ever talks about like feeling good when you finally get your bones, or feeling good when you finally get whatever surgeries, or like, you know, even if that's not your route, just like being you. That is what it is, and that's where the power is. And you know, taking up space, being visible. That's what I'm into now. Now I'm like, bitch, go all glam, you know? So
you were performing. Why don't you tell us a little
Oh yeah, oh my God. I am going to be performing at a fundraiser, a trans equity fundraiser in August. It's August 18th in Philadelphia. So I will send everyone the link to that down below. It's in like West Philly. So all my Philadelphia people can finally see me. I'm gonna just be reading poetry, and by then my book will definitely be done, and I'll be selling copies at the function as well.
Cool.
Ding.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, with my performances now, I try to incorporate a little bit of poetry, then a little bit of like dancing, lip syncing, like drag show realness.
Yeah.
I find that the hybrid of the two really is a good way for me to tell my story.
Let me go, let me go again. I wanna wake up on you. I wanna wake up